On this episode of the podcast, we take a look at the movie Bumblebee, written by Christina Hodson and directed by Travis Knight, starring Hailee Steinfeld, Jorge Lendeborg Jr., John Cena, Jason Drucker, and Pamela Adlon. Welcome to He Said, She Said Movie Reviews. This is the podcast where a happily married couple with similar but different movie tastes take a quick look at the movies, helping you make the right decision before your next movie. I'm your host, Tim.
And I'm April.
So, Bumblebee. Well, both April and I give this movie 3.5 stars. We'll tell you all about that right after this one trailer.
And the trailer for this movie was Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers becomes one of the universe's most powerful heroes when Earth is caught in the middle of a galactic war between two alien races. The lovely Brie Larson, Jude and Samuel Jackson.
Okay, so as we said, we saw Bumblebee. This is a one-off. It's a origin story from the Transformers franchise. It's the story of Bumblebee, we're in 1987, and Bumblebee finds refugees in a junkyard in a small California beach town. Charlie, on the cusp of becoming 18 and trying to find her place in the world, discovers Bumblebee, battle-scarred and broken.
The director was wonderful. His name is Travis Knight. It's his second directing job only. He did Kubo and the Two Strings. The writers, the one that I have here, is Christina Hodson. She did Unforgettable and Shut In.
Yeah, the cast is Hailee Steinfeld, Jorge Lendeborg Jr., John Cena, Jason Drucker,
and Pamela Adlon.
This movie has a runtime of 114 minutes. It fell in April's below 2-hour mark.
Yay!
So this movie, in my mind, is one of the best Transformers movies, if not the best Transformers movie. It was different.
Yes.
It wasn't all action. It had a story and a plot, and you weren't lost in this movie.
Yeah, and I just want to say that I was dragged to the movie. I don't know why. I didn't want to see the movie. It's filmed in 1987, the year we were married. I knew it was going to have good music. But I'll tell you what, we'll talk more in a minute.
I'll tell you why.
Can I finish?
Yeah, you can finish.
Great coastal California scenes. That's all I was going to try to say.
Okay, great coastal California scenes. Say that 5 times as fast as you can.
Go. But let's go ahead and finish. But I want to talk about the theme. I want to stick to today. Okay.
I want to talk about why you were drugs kicking and screaming to this movie. April's only seen the first Transformer movie. She would not see any others after that one. So, but I did get her to go to this one.
Yeah. And it just, I think what really got me from the minute I was there was the theme of the movie, the tone. It's a coming of age movie for Charlie, the character. And it was great. I mean, I just really enjoyed the movie. Tim, I mean, the acting was phenomenal.
Yeah. The acting was good. I thought, the movie is Bumblebee, but the movie's not really about Bumblebee. Bumblebee is a character in Charlie's life. Charlie is the protagonist of the movie. The other thing that was kind of cool about this movie was the fact that there was only 3 Transformers, other than the opening scene. The opening scene takes place on Cybertron, but after that, there's only 3 Transformers in the whole movie. Bumblebee and the 2 villains.
Right.
So,
and that could be why I enjoyed it. It wasn't over the top. I think that sometimes, certain movies like this are way over the top, but the direction was great. And again, I kicked it off, the 80s music. I know that Tim really enjoyed the cinematography too.
Yeah. As April said, we both grew up in Northern California, and this was filmed somewhere on the coast of California, either Santa Cruz or Santa Barbara, in that area. It reminded us of home. It was beautiful, and thoroughly enjoyed those parts of it. The CGI, the special effects in this movie were phenomenal. I think CGI has come such a long way. It's so fluid. You can't really tell the difference between what's CGI anymore and what's live action acting. It's just, it's mind-boggling. The fight scenes between the robots and such were pretty good.
Yes. The editing, I didn't think it was choppy at all.
No, that's what it's seamless and great. I thought it was a really good story. It was good storytelling. The dialogue in the movie, it's an action movie. It's a Transformers movie. There was some cheesy stuff. Some of the stuff that came out of John Cena's mouth just,
yeah.
It was,
I agree. I think there was a tiny bit. The pace was fast paced though. That's the good news. It wasn't slow. I didn't get bored. I wasn't thinking about other things. It was, again, it was a really surprise for me. A nice surprise. I don't know if it's covered an area when Tim and I were really young, college, a lot of fun in and around that whole area. But it was just, I don't know, it felt right. The movie, it felt right. And I think that going into a movie like this, the kind of movie it was, if it wasn't done right, it would have been not good at all.
Well, I think you had pretty low expectations going into the movie, right?
Yeah, I did. They pushed, our daughter went with us and they pushed hard. So I gave in and went.
Person who I thought also did a really good job in this movie was the kid who played the younger brother. What was his name? Jason Drucker.
Good point.
He was the younger brother with the older sister. He wasn't your stereotypical Hollywood younger brother, the bratty, obnoxious younger brother. He actually at one point even tried to help his sister.
Yeah,
so.
I enjoyed that. I did like the fact that every family has this. I'm certainly a morning person. 4:35, I'm ready to go. Not true of a couple other people in my house, but I loved the family that was so honest because, right, Tim, he was so positive.
Yeah, he was very positive.
And she was, the age and the whining and so forth. And I enjoyed it. I also enjoyed the relationship between the mother and the daughter, especially as the movie went on.
Yeah, that was a good relationship too, and they built on that nicely. Even the stepfather in the movie wasn't, your stereotypical stepfather. I really don't have anything bad to say about this movie except for a couple of things, and I'll talk about that when we talk about our ratings. So I guess we might as well, as we're trying something new here where we're giving out our ratings at the start of the podcast, so you have an idea of what we're talking about and where we're going with it. So, and also if you don't want to listen, well, hopefully you'll listen to the end. So, April, why did you give it 3.5 stars?
I gave it 3.5 because it was fine. It really was. It was a little lovely, little cute movie, but it just, that was it for me.
That's it?
That's it.
That's easy. For me, it was well done. Good acting, good direction, good cinematography. Special effects were great. On those things, you'd think I'd give it a 5, but to me, it was a kid's movie. It felt like a kid's movie.
Very true.
The other Transformer movies seemed a little bit more adult. This one was kind of like, it's a coming of age story. And I think it was aimed at, the 14 to 17 year olds. And it felt like that. It was a little bit of a kid's movie, but it was a pleasant surprise for me.
Yeah. And I just want to say that could be why I liked it so much, in the sense that, I'm one of those that loves that age group, Dawson's Creek, Felicity, that whole coming of age, you're a late teenager, but you're not quite an adult yet. And I think that I thought that was good.
I don't think there was a single swear word in the whole movie.
No.
The one thing I do want to point out to you, if you're a parent and you're taking your kids to this, there are 2 deaths in the movie. 2 people get killed by the aliens, but they're not bloody deaths.
Right.
So it was kind of like, oh, really? They get turned to slime.
Yeah.
Okay. That works.
That'll work.
So anyways, we really appreciate you taking the time to listen to our podcast. If you haven't already done so, please go out to hesaidshesaiedmovies.com/subscribe and subscribe to the podcast. It's absolutely free to do.
And we really appreciate everybody's support. Do not forget the Spring Cinema and Tap House in Sandy Springs, Georgia. Please find one of your independent movie theaters. We are very fortunate to have it here. We're even more fortunate that it's our theater and they sponsor our podcast. The only heated seats in the state of Georgia. Just a lot of fun. So give it a try.
Thanks a lot, and we'll see you at the movies.
See you at the movies.